Kids home come from college, and Dad says, "How college? Good. Friends, fine. Food, okay. Dorm life, okay. By the way, what are you majoring in?" We'll find about everything else. The kid says communication. It blows that out of someone. Unfortunately, he learned his communication skills at home, whereas Mom and Dad asked a lot of questions like that. Strong families are held together. They communicate. I may be totally confusing y'all. John, after watching that movie the other night, just opened up my eyes on some things.
Amen.
Listen to this now, you'll get a kick out of this. A lady went to her pastor because she wanted a divorce from her husband. He asked her, "Do you have any ground?" She said, "Yeah, I've got 3 acres outside of town." You've been there. "No, I mean, do you have a grudge?" "No, we have a carport." "I mean, does your husband beat you?" She said, "No, I get up to 6. "Do you have a case?" "No, we got John Deere." "Ma'am, I'm trying to tell you, are you and your husband having any trouble?" I said, "Oh yes, lots of trouble." "Like what?" "We just can't communicate." Communicating is a two-way street, but a good listener. Be observant. Communication is just like, fishing. To catch a fish, you got to know where to bite. I guess I'm not a fisherman. I'm not going to stay there all night. Be considerate to your kids. Back to this preacher. Still couldn't find out what he was going to do. So her husband was in the room too. And the preacher went over and gave her a big old hug. He told him, he said, "That's what you did, you boy." Well, that would set some eyes out with him. Men, we take our wives for granted. And sometimes vice versa. Husband was told by marriage counselors to try to be nice to his wife. One day he comes home from work, and he's all dressed up in a suit. She has cologne on, had a bouquet of flowers, a box of candy in his hand. He wants to really make a good impression. Knocks on the door, and his wife's answer said, "Oh, I can't believe it. Little Johnny had been throwing up all day, the dishwasher's broke, your parents are coming to visit. Now to top it off, you come home drunk." That'll be demonstrated. Talking physical, just like kisses, massage, head rub, Brother John foot rub. I'm not going to say where I come up with that at. He knows. Or just a pat on the back. We got to be wise. Amen. Bringing up. No man has ever been shot doing dishes. Amen. Your wife ever shot you when you do dishes? Bringing up the past is not wise. Amen.
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 Man says to another man, "Every time my wife fights, she gets historical." Man, you mean hysterical. He said, "No, historical, because she brings back everything I've ever done since we got married." He said, "Some people bury the hatchet, but she just digs more dirt." Lord, I hope you get his sense of humor. Parents, it's a cold hard fact that 39% of American teens say they want to be just like parents. 39%. Lord, I admire you.
Amen.
I admire you. Every family has problems.
Amen.
Amen.
If divorce was looked at as a commitment, or when marriage was looked at as a commitment, you wouldn't see all this stuff. Even Adam and Eve had problems. I'll close. we got another page, we won't close. Adam and Eve had problems. Adam and Eve walked by the garden. The kids say, "What's that, Daddy?" He said, "That's where your mother ate us out of the house and home." Some of y'all get that later. Not all families respond to problems, do they? The study wants to close it. If mom and dad attend church regularly, 72% of the children remain faithful. If dad attends, 55% remain faithful. If mom, only 15% remains faithful. If neither mom or neither dad, only 6% of the kids remain faithful. Dad, that's how important we're supposed to be.
Amen.
Just get up and say, "Hey, get in bed, we're all going to church tomorrow."
Right.
Amen.
Closing. I told Betsy them yesterday afternoon. Marriage will only work if they put God first.
Amen.
Right.
If not, it won't happen. As a mistake.